from the time we recorded last week till like Sunday night in rest mode. So I mean, it was in rest mode for quite a while.
I've had stuff from rest mode for 2 weeks. It only did when I played Resident Evil Village. So
mine's about 2 weeks too.
I wonder if Resident Evil had an update and it tried to update in rest mode and then just screwed something up.
I don't know, but I'm not putting in rest mode again. So.
Lesson learned.
I don't blame you, and now I'm even more wary of doing that. Because I was thinking of putting this into rest mode. I'm like, I don't know.
Because I've looked online, people have had this issue here and there, but I think it's just we're all beta testers in the PS5 world. Yep. Something happened.
Remember Brad had it with Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I need to open Twitch on here. Oh yeah, you saw the whole thing with Dan and the Mario Party? Yeah. That thing killed me.
And I'll listen to Will Smith and Brad have done a podcast for a long time. And they had Vinny on this weekend, so I was like, I can do this before I listen to the last Beastcast. And they were actually talking about exactly what we do with the Skype NDI source is exactly what Will Smith was doing. But he's like, man, I was playing it back and the voices didn't match. Because if y'all watch some of our YouTube stuff, the audio doesn't match. It's only mine. It like keys off of mine. So we're going to need another solution at some point. But nobody said like, hey, your voices don't match. So most of our content comes from the podcast anyways.
That's only the video part, right?
Yeah, it's just the video. And it's that NDI source delay unless I start running it through different things and trying to separate those feeds, which I have not.
Every time you say NDI, every time you say that source, I always think of NDI Ree. I was like, NDI Ree, the R&B singer?
NDI Ree. Did I get in?
Twitch has an update.
Just got a notification.
I just use the web browser from now on. I don't have to deal with this shit anymore.
Source say close are required.
Can I say shit on the stream?
About having clothes?
No, just say shit.
You can say whatever you want on the stream, sir.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, you can say whatever you want. We always have. We used to have some dumbass when we were trying to like get ourselves going. We would have these like, I would research these games and these stupid things to come up with.
Oh, the games.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, my favorite one was when you used to play the music. We had to guess which song, what game it came from. So.
We should do that again.
You want to get some copyright strikes? Try and put them on that wall, huh? You really want to fill that wall up. Oh, shit.
Come on, somebody.
That 10?
Nope.
Or Chrono Cross?
Chrono Cross.
I was like, that is definitely a square.
Mitsuda.
Yeah. I just couldn't place it.
It's the slow version of that, Another World.
I don't care what anybody says, that was a good ass game. I still remember it to this day.
It's like the other version of it.
That's the
one. Tyler's girl says, I joined at an odd moment. Were you petting the wall?
Somebody got caught.
I was petting the wall.
You got it.
This is such a good game.
You get a prize.
I said I got a cease and desist letter before, right? That was from that first Star Trek movie. Remember the Battle of the Cruces?
What about that or Pitch Perfect?
Yep, Pitch Perfect.
Universal Studios and Paramount came for your ass.
Did I get one for Pitch Perfect also?
Yeah, I think remember you complaining about it because you downloaded from you know who, and you're like, never again.
Stop illegally downloading us, you bitch.
Was it the current You Know Who or the previous You Know Who?
The current one? Jesus Christ, dude. Why are you trying to get us all
No,
killed?
I used to download stuff for the previous one. That was my heavy days.
Hell no, dude, man. You know who she could be on this call.
No, I don't think so. I 100% guarantee that. As a matter of fact, my party gift was like, hey, I just burned you this CD.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about the current one, not the previous one.
Oh, that's fine too. I think she's heard that story before. She's heard the burn CDs before. Have y'all seen the thing going around? Maybe it's just my old man Twitter that I follow, where people are like trying to hook up ancient video games to current TVs and such. But people don't know what the term burning CDs means.
What?
Yeah, we're to that point.
You'll be all right.
So I got to thinking, like, in Word and ArcMap and everything that I use, essentially, the save icon is a fucking floppy disk. How long is that going to be? Who actually knows what that is?
Oh, I do.
Hold on, I found this like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, no.
It's the Pokemon cards.
Oh,
Damn, we should be recording this. This is good shit.
Is this Pokemon cards?
Same era, 1999. So I didn't have one of these. I used one of these at school. And jeez. I can't remember what course it was for, but this was the first time that I had actually seen like a digital camera.
Yeah.
And it copies to... Can I get that thing out? Where you at, motherfucker? I don't even remember what side it is, because I just ordered a battery for it, because it came with everything but a damn battery.
That's how
there we go. All right, so you hit that latch to open, right?
That's good shit on the podcast.
No, it's not on there. They put one in there, but it wasn't actually in there. Hold on. I know this is like really compelling content. Here you go. Brant, you know what this is?
Hell yeah, we used to use those.
Okay.
I'm old enough to remember
Tyler's
those.
girl, since you're on the show with us, do you know what this is? Do you know what this is?
Can you name it? What is the size of it?
Can you name it? So it just goes in. It's got such a satisfying click to it. It's amazing. And that's freaking digital camera, man.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. It actually takes JPEGs, and it'll take little I can't.
Probably holds a whole whopping 30 pictures.
50 megs? How many pictures can you get on 50 megs?
Oh, it's 50 meg.
Bastard. What's the size capacity of floppy? Cesar? 30, 35?
Yeah, if you're lucky.
Yeah.
I was about to say it depends.
Because past that we had zip drives.
What are we looking at? Is that a 3.5 or 5.5, 5 1/4 or 8-inch?
No, this is a 3.5. I have some of the other ones for the Commodore and the Apple.
3.5 is usually about 1.4
megabytes. That's right. It was zip drives that gave you like 30 and 50.
Yeah. Zip drives can give you up to 100 megs.
Oh, and anyways, it says Atlanta house on it, 32507. So somebody was taking pictures of an Atlanta house.
Gonna be another 8mm thing with Nicolas Cage in there.
Oh yeah, it put it in the leg of a church pew.
Oh yeah, it was who killed JFK? Yeah.
But yeah, the what I saw was something about somebody had asked a kid what that was, and they said, "Why did you 3D print the save logo?"
This checks out.
I'll accept that as well.
This checks out. Why did you 3D
the proper print? Answer?
Like, oh no, it's a floppy.
Holy shit.
I just remember being a kid and doing the thing you're not supposed to do and pulling back the metal part and like touching and messing with the disc in there.
Man, what were you thinking?
You're like 3 or 4 at the time, and you're just like, I can do this. I don't know that this is bad.
Brant, have you seen the 5-inch floppies? Have you seen the big ones?
Yes.
I had to check. I had to do an age check there.
I don't think I ever used them, but no, still when I was in school, they had...
You're going to take away. If he fails, what are you taking away?
Oh, man.
My old man card? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't see any downside.
It's just something to experience, you know, something without an OS where you actually have to like literally load each program to play them.
No, I specifically remember Windows Millennium Edition, where it crashed on the computer I had at the time, and there was no GUI on that operating system, so everything has to be reloaded in a command line.
Windows Millennium had no GUI?
No, they brought it back in Windows 2000. They took it away for whatever reason from Millennium Edition. So at that point, I took it upon myself to put Windows 2000 on my home PC.
Real computer people don't need this. Why did they get away from that?
Oh man, I remember trying to reload the operating system. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I was like, it just with the blinking cursor. I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this? I had to look it up online. It's like it's all command based. I'm like, well, I can't figure this out.
Look up the lines. You got the lines though, I'm assuming.
No, I just obtained a copy of Windows 2000 and loaded it with a GUI.
Bypassed the Millennium.
Yeah, I mean that Millennium Edition was garbage anyway. So
2000 was like cream of the crop until XP, but XP was so great. I feel like everything just clicked.
Yeah, XP Pro or XP Home when we started doing that shit.
Yeah, the separation. And the logo had like those tube, like it looked like some sort of piping for the XP and the Pro and the Home stuff. All right.
I remember I was in the Windows Vista beta when it was called Longhorn.
Oh, wow.
Why?
And because everybody was excited, and then I got Windows Vista, and I was like, "This is garbage." And Windows Vista had like 19 different versions because you had like Home, Networking Edition, Professional, School. I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Enterprise.
It was all, yeah. And then we went to Windows Nana after that, and it was all downhill. It was all uphill from there. Windows 8 was another garbage one too. I had to deal with, especially at work when people were running those Surface Pros and with Windows 8 on there. We had to join a domain with that crap. Oof. We bypassed Windows 8 in my job altogether, so we went straight from 7 to 10. So
we had a couple slackers on 8, including one in our department. We gave her shit for a long time.
Windows 8 is garbage.
It's trash.
Garbage.
She was used to it though, you know, so you know how that goes.
Windows 8 had to die so Windows 10 could be born.
It's the Wii U of Windows operating systems.
I don't even know. I don't. That's too high of a word for it. Yeah.
Because Wii U was actually pretty great.
It's the Jaguar 64 of operating system.
The CDI.
Oh god. I have a CDI also with no controller. I don't know how to play CDI games.
CDI would be like the Millennium Edition. Millennium Edition was garbage. I hate 2003 is pretty bad too. I don't know. It'd be close.
I don't remember a particular 2003 build.
That's how good it was.
I might have skipped that one. That might have been my Mac OS time.
Most people skip Vista, man. I don't even think I had Vista in any of my PCs at the time. That was garbage. I remember upgrading my Windows XP machine to Vista, and I was like, nope. And I went back to XP, and I was like, I'm not doing that again.
XP was kick ass for a long time.
Look at this. Nonsense. We talked about nonsense.
15 minutes now of operating systems? 14 minutes?
Yeah.
There will be a test at the end of this, everyone.
Yep. Hope you took notes. At the end, you'll be A+ certified.
Yep.
And please leave in the comments below what's your favorite operating system or year of Windows, and what's your least favorite year of Windows.
I will accept Ubuntu as an answer. So.
All right, I've actually got I've got a segue to start. The audio is in English and Spanish.
But they said in Spanish. Well done.
What is contiene? Content?
Contain?
Contains audio for Spanish and English?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get going.
Yeah, let's do it.
Where's my thing at? There it is. Your new chair's already breaking your back?
No, I'm just trying to move it. I'm going to have to get one of those damn rolling mats.
Yeah, you got a racing chair, man. You're going to have to put some brakes on that thing.
Are you on carpet?
Yeah, I'm on carpet.
This is carpet down here, but I don't roll very much, and then it's like almost Berber carpet kind of thing. It's not plush. It's not luscious. You can't sit bare ass on it.
Did you watch your Shrek movie 20th anniversary? Did you go celebrate it somewhere?
Number one anime on Amazon. No, I did not watch it.
It's what else popped in Amazon as number one? Oh man, it was something else. I saw it in there. I was like, forgot what it was.
What was it?
I gotta look it up.
Forgot. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 158 of the NOFODcast. We are No Outside Food or Drink, the Southeast premier video game podcast. Tonight, new games in the Division universe have been announced. PlayStation 5 shortages expected to continue, so Brant is making his available for $1,200. Talk to him after the show. 2 classic Lucasfilm games get a re-release. Brant's PlayStation 5 is not for sale. I still have one on a truck still. Sony's Days of Play is upcoming. Are Valve games coming to consoles? ? And Embracer Group acquires more studios. They're embracing acquisition. I'm Richard Bergman, joined tonight by Brant McKee.
What's up?
The Newsmaster. And I'm being booed by fellow compatriot, Guns of the Patriot himself, Cesar Concepcion II.
Boo this man. Everybody boo this
not boo
man.
This man. This plane doesn't, without this man, this plane doesn't get off the runway. We all know this. Do not boo this man. All right, so in the pre-show, if you missed that riveting content, we were talking operating systems, but
Garbage content.
it was absolute straight garbage content. Don't get here early. Please try to tune in around 8:20 or so. But we were talking about.
I'm very sorry.
It is literal garbage. We were talking. So computer operating systems. What has been one of you guys' favorite gaming operating systems? What have you enjoyed when you boot up, either a boot up sequence or memory card copy screen, whatever it is? What has been one of your favorite operating systems for a game console?
Hands down to this day, PS1 boot up still gives me that just chills almost.
Yeah,
it's nostalgia. It's just pure nostalgia for me. I think every time I hear that noise.
And you've got the CD player built into it on the side with the graphics, so you can take over the screen.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Dreamcast one. I like the Dreamcast boot, and then you've got your options in that menu. It's always pretty cool. GameCube's got a nice boot, and then the rotating cube in the GameCube for your memory card and your system settings and all that.
It's a very good one.
Yeah. PS3 is pretty kick-ass. I thought the cross-media bar was great. And they put it on PSP and Bravia TVs and just about everything of that era.
PS2 with the demon summoning when you have no disc installed.
the red background thing?
Yeah.
Oh, what's some other good ones? The original Xbox boot is great. And then the International Space Station sounds as you're going throughout those blade menus. Oh, the blades from that era of 360. Those were awesome. Oh, there was an article. Somebody said the dashboard for the original Xbox is back on Xbox One. Or is a theme or something? I saw it today.
Don't know.
Destructoid was talking about it, I think. Or Eurogamer? Look real quick.
Sounds like something Destructoid would talk about. I haven't read an article for them in a long time.
It fucking does.
No, if they came out with I
think it's Eurogamer.
A theme that was like the 360 blades and put it on Xbox One.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'd have to go find an Xbox One right now because I miss the blades and all that menu.
That's what it takes for you to buy Series X. It's just the theme with the blades.
He's a simple man.
$4.99.
Immediately, I would buy it.
He's a simple man.
I will get one eventually. I'm just but if they were like, yep, we got this, and it's basically like 360. It's that clean menu with the blades and everything. Sold.
Holy shit! Oh no, that is. I'm like, oh god, they did it. It's perfect. But then it's just somebody showing you the original Xbox because the game saves are all like Vice City and they had the music thing on here. Hold on, Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter, Halo 2, of course, Vice City, Crimson Skies. All right, hold on. This comes from. I guess we'll start news early. This does come from Eurogamer. Microsoft has released a new dynamic theme for Series X and S, which brings to life the retro Matrix-inspired aesthetic of the OG Xbox. The animated background, named The Original, is more akin to the loading animation you got when first turning on that chunky console, rather than its actual dashboard, but the look will likely still feel familiar. Here's The Verge's Tom Warren with a preview. It's on Twitter. I gotta see if this is something I gotta have.
Is money required for it?
No, it just has like the green thing in the background and that spinning, like when you would go through, when you would try to select like network or TV aspect ratio, or I can't remember what all the settings are in there. Save, music, all that stuff. It's just kind of hovering in the background. It's not
that as exciting as you thought it was.
No. I know I had y'all intrigued too. So that's why I was like, go on.
Yeah.
I've never played my 360 that much, so I don't have that nostalgia.
No, this is the original Xbox. This is that green.
Oh, the original Xbox?
Yeah, that
I can also equate. I never played my original Xbox as much, so I don't have that nostalgia.
That you would recognize the little clip from it, but it's not quite what I thought it was going to be.
I'm sure I would notice it, yeah.
The Blades was great. That's when I played the most Mass Effect, was when the Blades was out. All right, let's get into the actual news. New games in the Division universe. Was there like a...
You said it. That's it. That's the news. Let's go.
We probably could skip ahead. Do you want to? I mean, damn. Was there a Ubisoft press show or something?
It was like an earnings call.
Yeah.
And there's like everybody's just patting themselves on the back, like best-selling Assassin's Creed ever. Pat, pat, pat.
Longest Assassin's Creed ever.
Skull and Bones. We're gonna push it back another 20 years. Pat, pat, pat.
Skull and Bones. What even is that anymore?
I don't know. They pushed it back again. We'll never know.
Watch it be a Game Pass. It's gonna come out for Game Pass.
It's gonna come out for tablet.
That too, or HoloLens, mixed reality. They're adding all sort of microtransactions to it, like skins and such. It's like Neon Skull and Polka Dot Bones.
Yeah.
You pick however you want. The Skull and Bones still up.
Unless they change the name to Mr. Bones, the Sega Saturn classic, and then I'm like, then I might be interested.
That only come out for Saturn?
Yes.
Yeah. I saw somebody post the Saturn launch lineup the other day because I think it was the what would this be? 25th anniversary maybe? And
came out in 94, 95.
Somebody's like, look at this. Oh, well, the US launch, I'm sorry. Somebody said, look at this. 3 baseball games and no Sonic. There was like virtual baseball, Frank Thomas baseball, 3D baseball, World Series baseball. There's freaking 3 baseball games at launch. But they went heavy on sports. There's a shit ton of sports games. People forget the Genesis was really known for that at the time too. So you can see where they like went with that gamble.
Yeah, the majority of my sports games was on Genesis versus on Super Nintendo. So I can confirm.
EA was hot and heavy with Genesis with their special modded cartridges. All right, back to Ubisoft news. There's a free-to-play game set in the Division universe called The Division Heartland. That is not a mobile game. What the fuck? That's just a free-to-play game.
Yeah, it's free-to-play. They're also coming out with a mobile...
It's also a mobile game.
Division game.
Gotcha. Other offerings in the universe include content for Division 2, which is still coming out, and they are working on a movie version with Netflix starring Jake Gyllenhaal.
Finally, somebody got this man some work outside of Mysterio from Spider-Man. It's the only thing I remember him from recently.
He was in October Sky, the classic, and Bubble Boy. Then he turned into some sort of sex symbol, and I'm like, is that the same dude? The geeky guy from Bubble Boy and October Sky?
Somebody got this man some work, so it'll be fine.
Amen. This comes from The Verge. Sony expects PS5 supply issues to continue until next year, which is not surprising. So likely well into 2022. The quote from Hiroki Totaki says, I don't think demand is calming down this year, and even if we secure a lot more devices and produce many more units of the PS5 next year, our supply wouldn't be able to catch up with demand. We have sold more than 100 million units of PS4, and considering our market share and reputation, I can't imagine demand dropping easily. Ew, that sounds like the cocky-ass Sony.
But, I mean, this is also, there were some rumors about a hardware redesign, and if you kind of dive into the rumors, it's basically revolved around the chip yield that they're having, and they're looking to maybe go to a smaller chip, or just a different chip that can still get the same results, same performance. So I mean, it's
with all these hardware shortages though. How did they get? Is that the solution? Come up with something smaller?
I don't know, because that was the big talk, was they had a problem with the yield, with the chips they were using now. But yeah, you're saying, it's across the board, because it's not just Sony. It's Microsoft. It's Nintendo. But Nintendo, I mean, is still going gangbusters. I don't know how they're doing it.
Because they're using hardware from like 2013, right?
They're using old NVIDIA software. Yeah.
That NVIDIA system on a chip is very dated at this point. It's out of support, correct? If I remember right.
Yep.
Yeah. So they probably scooped up the rest of those. I see Switches everywhere. So I know it's still like making bank, but they're available.
I see the lights.
I saw an Animal Crossing
available. One. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. They dropped the price of the Animal Crossing ones on Amazon. They're like $5 cheaper.
Yeah, they did another batch of them.
That's the better battery one, correct?
Yeah.
Is it noticeable? Cesar, you have that one, right?
Yes.
It's sitting right behind him.
I see it.
Lasts about 7 hours.
Okay.
Unless you play Breath of the Wild, then it's like 4.
So funny how demanding that launch title game is.
It's probably optimization, probably held back because they developed it on the Wii U at the same time. So.
Mm-hmm. All right, that's all the PS5 constraints. Lucasfilm Classic Games, Zombies Ate My Neighbors, and Ghoul Patrol announced for PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. That comes from Salomano Ikamatsu, and it is out June 29th, and it is available for pre-order everywhere, I feel like.
I will buy this on every platform it's available for.
Both of them? Oh, the collection is
it's
both.
One pack.
Nice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I have no nostalgia for this game.
I never really played it either.
Cesar, sell me on it.
Zombies Ate My Neighbor is just a top-down view shooter. It's pretty good. It's also a zany storyline. It's that Lucasfilms back in the day with like Manic Mansion and all that stuff like that. Crazy. It's just addictive to me. It's similar. I don't know if I want to say, it gives me some of that Diablo-esque feels before Diablo got big, where you're just going in there and you're just gunning in certain directions and picking up loot, and then you're doing it co-op. I don't think there's an online co-op on this one. Ghoul Patrol came out maybe a year or two later, and it was originally supposed to be an original title, and then I think they took some of the characters from Zombie Ate My Neighbors and then made it to a sequel, but that was later on in development, if I remember correctly.
This article says both of them are a local co-op.
Yeah.
Or at least Ghoul Patrol is.
It's a lot of fun. Playing 2 players, it was a lot of fun.
Of course, they're adding some modern updates. They're adding achievements and like save states and a what did they say, like a gallery or something that's got a bunch of extra content and art and
who's handling this port? Is it Digital Clips? I can't remember who it was.
.emu.
Yeah. .emu. Yeah, I know it was one of the emulator ones.
And I know, what is it? I think in the summer, limited runs doing the physical.
And that'll have both on the card or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Disc, whatever format.
I will buy that. I will buy that Blu-ray with 100 megs on that disc. I don't give a fuck.
100 meg Blu-ray.
I've got a couple of them from Limited Run. I think I got one from Limited Run that was like a 50 meg Blu-ray, because it was like a old 8-bit action adventure title that came out from like PCs in the 1986 or something like that. They ported over the PS4.
Wow. Axiom Verge is probably not that big of a file either, right?
Probably bigger than you'll be surprised.
Or Doom 64. But that got
might be a good one.
That got up-resed and all that, but it's still not like a massive game, I'm sure.
It's like 300 megs or something like that in the download, so I imagine it's probably not that huge. So,
Days of Play is coming up. Sony announces via the PlayStation blog. We want to make sure this year's event is even more special and engaging for our gamers. That's why this year's Days of Play will feature various activities across a few weeks to celebrate the power of play. Are they sticking with that?
Consoles.
Power of Play?
There's no consoles to sell. Usually they have like a special edition console or something like that. So somebody's gonna make a joke like, you just make the PS5 available. Well done, Sony.
Yeah, that would be all it takes.
Regular price.
So that's gonna be When is this? Now?
It starts May 18th.
What is this registration thing? Okay, there we go.
Yeah, you can sign up
For what?
now. I don't. I guess it's just to register.
Okay.
Because
yeah, once you sign up, you'll automatically be entered into all future stages of the program.
Yeah. And I guess it links your gamer tag, all that to the program. That way, when they give out the rewards, I guess you could say, or bonuses.
Sucks. This is not the usual days of play. This sucks.
Yeah,
it's like online community group. Let's all play 8 million games, and then you'll unlock this thing, and then
that's basically what it
play
is.
5 games in a week, and you'll unlock this thing.
It's nothing but a bunch of avatars and themes.
This is garbage. I'm signing in now to register for the event.
I haven't signed up yet. I need to, but I mean, it is pretty stupid.
I signed up a couple days ago. I think it just keeps track of how many trophies you get, right? So that's all they're doing.
That'll go well.
Trophies and hours of play, I believe.
I'm fucking made for that. Let's go.
I'll let them start now. Start the clock and end the clock.
I mean, the game you could have done it with. You switched platforms, so.
What's that?
The effects of the mass.
I did. I saw that 120 hertz option on Xbox, and I was like, I might have to go that route.
Yeah, they ship my copy. Should be here tomorrow, I think.
Got it coming in.
So, according to what they tell me on the Amazon, so they shipped it yesterday. I was like, okay.
I forgot to turn on 2-factor on this. I know this is thrilling content.
Yeah, so they have like 3 different stages. Stage 1 is from May 18th to May 24th. It looks like
they won't need all those 6 days.
And you can unlock exclusive PS4 dynamic themes, an exclusive PSN avatar with bonus prizes being
the Last Airbender.
3 more exclusive avatars. Stage 2. The 25th through the 31st of May is 5 more exclusive avatars with bonus of 3 more exclusive PSN avatars. And then stage 3 is June 1st through, looks like June 7th, is going to be a dynamic PS4 theme and an exclusive PSN avatar. And the bonus, 3 more PSN avatars. And then there's a cumulative prize of, it looks like, more PSN avatars and another PS4 dynamic theme. So, I mean,
let me sign
honestly,
in. Fuck this. I don't care. I don't even care anymore. It was garbage anyways.
For us on our PS5s, I mean, there's...
Avatars.
We can get avatars, but we can't get nice themes or anything like that yet. So... I don't know.
I'm more interested in they do say the sales are coming up, so I'm more interested to see what that consists of.
Yeah, I would be with it being days of play. They usually do some pretty good sales. They haven't really released anything on that. I would be way more interested to see sales wise what they do.
It's gonna be mostly last gen stuff, right? Is that what we're going with?
Yeah, I doubt Ratchet will be in there or something like that. And maybe Ratchet from 2016.
They're
at this point,
they're Platinum Hits games.
Yeah, at this point, most of those games they got for free. So at some point, it's given away.
Because right now, whatchamacallit's free. It's the complete edition of. Horizon
Zero Dawn.
Yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn. When is that? When are they going to announce the next free one? Have they even mentioned it?
No.
Because that's the Play at Home initiative.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, my 2-factor's so good it just like literally won't let me sign in. It's amazing.
It's locked you out.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's like my fucking Nightmare Final Fantasy 14, 85 different passwords to get in there and
still never make it.
Oh no, I get in there and then I forget the password because I spent so much time trying to figure out how to get in there, and then I got to go back and reset it again. I don't remember what I put last time. I think I wrote it down somewhere.
Sign up now.
I was like,
sign up. All right.
Great, not this again.
All right, looks like I'm in. Yep, I'm in. All right, just don't do it on Chrome. Chrome sucks.
Chrome sucks, I know.
Chrome doesn't suck. It just didn't behave for me.
Sure. Have you fired up a Chrome OS? Can be
Uh,
sucky sometimes.
Edge is actually my daily driver now. The Chromium Edge.
No, it's a Chrome OS, not the Chromium Edge.
Have I ever? Well, yeah, we used to have Chrome boxes that we had to deal with. That was not great.
It's not ideal. It's not horrible, but it's not ideal.
Yeah, it's you're on a you're not on a true operating system.
My favorite is when you log in the Google environment, and then it just mandates to you like, oh, you need more storage for everything. Pay more money now. Your 15 gigs of everything's capped out.
So we were lucky in that the ones that I would get were already enrolled in G Suite, so I never got they had already pre-enrolled them for us, so I never got that. I never got the prompts for storage space. I get that on our Gmail account every time I go in there.
Yeah.
I wonder what the last episode, because I used to throw every episode that we did into that as a backup, and I have no clue what the last one was. I think it was well before your day. I don't know.
We didn't use.
How big is Dropbox? Should we move all those to Dropbox? Can't you get like a 500 meg Dropbox?
I don't know.
500 megs is horrible. What do we got now?
Not 500 megs. I think it's 500 gigs in Dropbox.
Ah.
Or 40? Might be 40. More stimulating content here.
I know even with Dropbox, you...
Free storage up to 2 gigs.
Yeah, I was about to say, I remember it not being very, very great.
I said 40, stupid ass.
Dropbox is what you get to, like, throw shit in there for, like, all right, I'm at somebody's house or place of work, and I need to do something quick for storage, and you open up a Dropbox account.
Yep, essentially.
Drop that shit in there, so...
Here's the 80 pictures I took at your wedding. You can have them. Enjoy your wedding photos. I'm closing the Dropbox in 10 days. Oh, somebody else take these last 2 news stories. It will not be moi.
So, the next one comes from Gamatsu via Sal Romano. Gabe Newell hints at more games for consoles. Gabe Newell was at some
New Zealand
public speaking thing that was at some public school in New Zealand. And somebody asked him, a kid asked him, will Steam be putting any games on consoles, or will it just stay on PC? And Gabe was a little hesitant. He just kind of said, you will get a better idea of that at the end of this year. And there have been reports of Gabe meeting with, oh my gosh, his name just escaped me, Phil Spencer, there we go, of Microsoft. So it would
Uncle
be
Phil.
interesting to see what they would bring. I mean, that's pretty much the meat and potatoes of the story. So what games from Valve would we want on Game Pass? Would we want on Xbox or PS5 or Switch? I mean, obviously, I think a slam dunk would be once PSVR 2 is out on the PS5 that they port Half-Life Alyx
with a Y.
I think that would be a slam dunk.
Ugh,
oh yeah,
that'd be great. Well, they don't need a system seller right now.
It's been out for a while.
They don't even have a system seller, and they're selling systems.
They don't have a system. No, but I mean, they do want you to buy their like $1,000 headset.
Yeah.
So,
because Orange Box is already backwards compatible on Xbox, right? So
Yeah,
that
it is.
relationship is already there.
So
was there any other Valve? Oh, we got Left 4 Dead as backwards compatible. Portal 2 is backwards compatible.
but do you remember that weird time where you could buy Portal 2 for either PS2 or Xbox, but if you bought it or PS2, PS3 or Xbox,
I would pay big money to see
and
Portal running on PS2, and I would buy the shit out of that copy.
But if you bought it for PS3, you got a download code for the game on Steam.
Yep.
Only for PS3.
Yep.
They didn't do that
like a
on
Trojan
the 360 version.
I bought Portal 2 from Kmart with that $10 coupon program they were doing with that fucker Roy over there. I've talked about him before.
Yeah.
How's Kmart doing right now?
What?
How's Kmart doing right now?
Not well, I don't believe. I think they're online commerce.
No.
I think they're more well known. Kmart's are in Australia now than they are anywhere else.
When's the last time you walked into a Kmart? Did you work at Kmart? Isn't that in your illustrious?
The last time
I was about to say,
there,
isn't that part of your illustrious history?
I was like in high school.
It was the one in Stockbridge?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
I was in Northern Tool there, which I've never been in either.
Northern's got good stuff. Brand nice company.
I've been in there.
Us over there.
I drive by and I'm like, sure. I drive by to get to the Planet Fitness, so.
I just remember as a kid all the times that they would set up like a little fair right there between the Kmart and the Taco Bell, and
that used to be my Taco Bell, man. Every time I go to lunch at work, walk across over there to the Taco Bell.
Gosh, I have fond memories of that Taco Bell in the 90s.
Yeah, my body did too.
Your body did. Yes, that's our we used to smash there because that was closest to the one we used to live where we used to live.
With you, Rich, I just remember Taco Bell and Zaxby's. And then with Andrew, maybe Popeyes.
Yeah, he got us on the Popeyes kick with red beans and rice and stuff.
Yeah.
And the Mardi Gras mustard. Holy shit, that Mardi Gras mustard. Oh, shit.
That's outside food, gentlemen. We can't be talking about
the good old days,
food.
man. It's when we weren't worried about our bodies. We just destroyed ourselves.
Yep. I can't do that anymore. I eat too much rice one day and my body's in shambles the next morning. I'm like...
Just on some rice?
Yeah, I'm exaggerating. I think my newfound disappointment was I can't eat peanut butter anymore. So.
Allergy?
Oh.
Yeah, it used to give me it recently started giving me blood blisters in my mouth. So
holy shit.
Went to the dentist and he's like, you're eating something that you're allergic to. And I cut out because I used to eat at least something with peanut butter every day. And then when I cut it out, it went away. He's like, yep, that's what it must be.
Huh.
I was like, irritated my gums.
Not good. All right. What other?
I enjoyed it, man.
What other Valve games would you like to see on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series consoles?
I would like them to make games and then put it on set, not to play
old games. You want a third iteration of some franchise.
They could do that, but I mean, we already got Back 4 Blood coming, so does that count?
Are we day one in that? Is everybody getting that?
I had mine too. I was super excited about coming out in June. And I was like October. Yeah. I was like, that's fine.
Are we?
So, if I look at my game,
are we actually all going to play a game together?
Yeah,
we should.
I think the one I actually played a lot of hours into it was Day of Defeat.
I got that with one of those Valve collections I bought on Steam.
The last time I played it was July 31st, 2011.
Not as long ago as I thought it was going to be. That's about when Portal 2 came out, right? It's 10 years old, I think.
Yeah. That's the only thing I like about Steam, man. If I can click on here, I can see the last time how long I've had Steam. Half-Life 2. Oh, it doesn't show.
Half-Life 2 was in 2007.
That
Day of Defeat was 2003.
Half-Life 2 was, I think, 04. I think it was in that crazy fall of 04 with Metal Gear 3 and all that, and Halo 2 and all that stuff. Because I was in high school when it came out.
I played a shit ton of Half-Life 2 Deathmatch, believe it or not.
Really? All right, Brant. Yeah. Here we go. Freaking. All right.
Oh, I said Half-Life? Sorry.
Portal 2.
Portal 2. Wow.
Yeah, Half-Life 2.
Yeah, Half-Life 2 was...
Half-Life 2 is the week after Halo. Halo 2.
Oh.
I remember that distinctly.
Good games.
There was a network error. Hold on. All right.
Oh. Yeah, Valve needs to get back to making some games. Put some 3 after them.
Does that even matter? Who made Half-Life Alyx? Was that in-house?
It was, yes.
Well,
it was a studio they purchased that they moved in-house.
Yeah. It was like a small team.
remember that we were supposed to get that game, that desert game with the looks like archaeologists, the two women, and they dropped the game altogether, and they were
that the Firewatch studio?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
They pretty much just dismembered that studio and just put them in internally. So Half-Life Alyx is it's a Valve game.
That game looked good. The freaking Explorers. I remember that being at somebody's PlayStation's E3 or Xbox's E3 or something. It looked amazing. All right, last news bit. Embracer Group. Who did they buy?
I can do this one. That's fine.
Do what?
This one is I can get this one. This one's from Jimatsu Saurmano. Embracer Group acquires Appeal Studios, Kaiko, Massive Mini Team, and then Frame Break establishes Gate 21. So it's 3 studios under THQ Nordic and 1 under Amplifier Game Invest. So they picked up these studios just recently. Appeal Studio, the original creators behind Outcast, not the band.
You had me.
But the game.
You had me for a minute.
Appeal Studios was founded, and they go. I haven't played Outcast, but it seems like that's their big game. Next one was Kaiko, which that one we're all familiar with because they pretty much went through and did the remastered stuff of everything. Everything that was remastered from the THQ, from the PS3 generation, 360 generation to PS4 and Xbox One. They were the studio that handled that.
Based. They did Red Faction, Legend of K, Darksiders, Kingdoms of Amalur.
I think that they're the only thing they're doing is that new expansion for Kingdoms.
They are single-handedly the studio that gave us Remastered, Warmastered, Definitive, and Re-Reckoning. Holy shit.
Yep. That's their thing, man. Then they had a Massive Mini Team studio publisher, German base.
Come on, you can pronounce that. It has no vowels in it. It's a Goomba.
Trying to figure out what the hell they're saying they developed. They just said they had any games on several titles, but nothing listed on here. I guess they list the website for more details. Gate 21 due in addition, blah blah blah. Serenova, Bosnia. They have They looks like they did 3D character models and facial rigs. And then the Amplifier Game Invest picked up Frame Break, which is a Swedish-based company. It's got 5 people. Looks like they're developing games based on their own IPs. It's like a small studio, maybe like indie based.
The Dot Do?
No, this is Frame Break AB. This is for Amplifier Game Invest.
Based in Skavadki? Skavod? It's like a Skyrim town.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even know where you're getting the name from.
I see it.
Oh, yeah, there we go. It depends on how you pronounce the vowels. I don't know.
Cesar has to know. Here we go. Live correction. It's that Kmart employment history coming through big. We had 6 people. Now we're down to 2. I said, welcome to the chat, and 4 people were like, fuck this shit, and got the hell out.
That's how it should be. Because we got stuck on Skavood or whatever the fuck that is. So
that one guy's researching stuff again. I didn't come here for this.
I guess somebody actually records this in their voice to pronounce it.
I gotta make my game look good like y'all's.
I think I downloaded a virus. Sounds nothing like it.
Like somebody's hiccuping. It's probably got our, twinge on it.
Yeah.
Skavadki. Skavadi. Skav.
It sounds like the S and K is silent.
Softy?
The S and K are silent.
Ovdi?
Ovdi?
Renee's still here. Renee, do you know how to pronounce S-K-O umlaut VDE? Renee, please help us.
Please. Did he go here? Hold on. Wait for it. I got it.
Duh. That's all we heard.
Duh.
That's it.
That's all. Duh. I don't believe this.
Basically.
Why would someone buy this? Renee says no, LOL. Thank you, Renee.
weird Swedish
Renee gave it a
Swedish
shot.
language.
Brent, you just went. Well, you just went to IKEA. You can't knock that one out for us.
No.
Yeah, if you could put a TV or some, if you could file some video games away on it, we learned how to pronounce it.
Did you get an error for your Twitter network error too? For your Twitch?
But it's not my stream. No, I'm good. The Twitch that I had up was a network error, yes, but I'm.
Yeah, that's what I got. That's what I had.
And you're in the admin one. Are you in the admin or you're in the consumer side?
I'm in my consumer side one, so I'm wondering if everybody got kicked off or something like that. I don't know.
I'm good. I'm watching.
Renee said you got this. We tried to get there, Renee. Is that it for news? That's all the Embracer Group bought this time? Who does the Embracer Group not have?
Sony, Nintendo, Microsoft. I keep going. Square Enix,
2K,
Capcom, Sega. Definitely not Konami.
So they're basically the AA studio. They produce every AA game we're ever going to play.
Yep.
There you have it.
They are the studio who's doing like the He-Man movie in Hollywood. Not exactly a blockbuster, but somewhere in between.
It'll sell some toys, some Happy Meals.
We'll throw a Dolph Lundgren. We'll have one of the troll people steal something from KFC. Brand marketing everywhere. He'll use a claw thing and just steal the bucket.
Holy crap, what kind of history am I imagining?
I don't know, but that's vaguely accurate because I still remember that from my childhood. I don't know why I can't remember certain math equations, but I'll remember that fucking scene from He-Man. So
Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah, what's his name was Skeletor. I forgot what
they made a live action one. Is it bad?
Yeah, that's the one I'm referencing. It's my childhood, man. I was like 4 when it came out, so you go watch it now. It's probably pretty cheesy. So, but it was like an isekai where they took that whole He-Man and Skeletor from their world and put it in our world type of situation.
I was thinking the other day, they don't make, the cartoons were there to sell the toys in the past, and they don't really do that anymore, do they? Or are we just out of that age realm?
It's 100% what they do in Japan. So, like, that's why, like, that's all they pretty much do is when they do anime is usually sell light novels, manga. So that's why we get a lot of anime that nobody ever finishes half the time. So it just all depends. If it doesn't push the product, then they don't usually make a second season.
But you have, especially for our childhoods, going through, Brant's a little bit younger, but you still have, like, Power Rangers, you have Ninja Turtles, you have those era of, they're selling the toy to, or they're making the cartoon to push the toy, that sort of thing. But that might have been more 80s more than anything. Now that I've said that, I don't really think Power Rangers.
Yeah. It was 80s into the 90s a little bit. On the 90s side, it became the toys got pushed along with like the fast food deals because they marketed movies, Power Rangers, Pokemon, all sorts of stuff through Burger King, through McDonald's, through all of them. They pushed it so much.
Different eras. All right, we're ready for games played. 40 minutes in.
Sure, there's gonna be a new.
We have an hour
record.
and 8 minutes to get through games played. Oh no, y'all played some shit.
I didn't play much.
One game.
I played Halo, of course. Been getting in some lunch kits.
No,
not Halo again.
Not Halo. You played Halo?
Which one?
Please tell us about this Halo.
Which one? There's no way they made more.
Well, I have a Series X, so I'm playing the most recent one that was a launch title for Series X. How many have they made?
Yeah.
You have 5 main lines.
Holy shit, there's 5 of those things?
You have Reach. You have ODST.
Where have I been?
Holy
You have the 2 Spartan Assault ones, which got 120 hertz upgrades. Let's go, Cesar. You have Fireteam Raven, which we got kicked out of in the Halo event last year, 2 years ago.
Are we on our third hand yet? Or are we still on our second hand?
Gesturing with this one.
Okay.
So I'm still playing the same Halo. On the demo note, remember we had the long demo discussion last week? I did fish out. I had the Pizza Hut demo that Brant was mentioning. I have disc 1. Apparently there was like 2 or 3 of them, but I have that first. It's got Final Fantasy 8, Crash, 3. What else did I try on there? My mind's going. Metal Gear Solid's on there. Brant's gonna bail me out by looking at it in his sleeve. Brant, how was that close to you? You didn't even have to move very far.
Because I had it from the last time we talked about it. No, dude, I have disc 2. I used to have disc 1.
What you don't realize is that on some days Brant takes those discs out and puts them in the PS5 and just like maybe, just maybe.
One day
I know my PS5 didn't respond back from rest mode, but maybe that means they patched in PS1 demo support.
Exactly.
So you played it and you pressed what is it, like you press R1 or L1 or something and it flips the tiles on there and you put in it shows you a secret code and you put that in and it's
this
more
one I
demos.
really just moved the cursor around on this one. But it was disc 1, so maybe it was less interesting than the second one you have. Nothing much on that. I was playing it on that PS1 that I was telling y'all about that I have with the little LCD screen that pops up. As much as of a CRT whore as I am, that one that LCD is a damn good looking screen on that PS1. I did a little bit of maintenance because I was messing around with some memory cards when I was plugging them into that PS1, and I found my original Final Fantasy VII save. So I immediately added that to 2 other PS1 memory cards just to have it. I think Cesar has one of these. You remember the PS3 memory card adapter that would work for PS1 and PS2 games? I need to borrow somebody's and just like start backing up shit if y'all don't mind. Just while I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
Because those things are expensive as shit now for some reason.
Because they only did a certain amount of them and then they stopped making the backwards compatible.
And they clearanced out those memory card adapters and I never got one, so I would not mind backing those up to more permanent format. Is that it? I've been meaning to get back to Ratchet and Clank, but I haven't cut my PS5 on in a minute. I think that's all. No handhelds. No iPad. Yep. Lots of Halo and a little bit of PS1 demo discs.
No holding hands.
No handhelds. No hold hands.
No holding hands with handhelds.
None. No hands were held in this episode. All right, who's next?
Mine's should be pretty simple. I went ahead and I played some Resident Evil Village. I beat it.
What'd you think?
It's good as hell. It took me 9 hours and
even after
15 minutes.
Your save?
Damn.
Luckily that was backed up, so I only had to redo 2 hours of the game. So somehow that my PS5 ones were backed up to the cloud. But
is it a short
that's
game?
fine.
People keep talking about making runs of it. Is it a game that you can play like that?
Well, like those 2 hours I lost when I went back in there, I knew what to do. So I instantly did what I did in 2 hours and 15 minutes. So it's not the exploration part was all taken out where I'm just walking around. It's a good fucking game, man. A lot of people compare it to Resident Evil 4. I wouldn't know because I haven't played 4 completely. But a lot of people compare it on that, how a lot of people just sit there and play it straight through. I think I played it in 3 sittings and I beat Resident Evil Village. A lot of people are comparing the same thing as that type of that grab on you that a lot of people relate to 4, or as they say, I can't speak from experience. Outside of that, I mean, it's thinking about it, I still kind of want to pop it in there and play it again.
Damn.
It's good, man. It's really fucking good. It's got a little twist towards the end of the story, where it ties back to Resident Evil 7 and kind of blows your mind. And I still think about that twist. The story is very well done. And they kind of did like their whole Uncharted 4 thing where like, all right, this arc is done. And they kind of give you an idea of what could happen in the next Resident Evil mainline games.
Okay.
So they kind of do that after the credits. I'll leave it at that.
I always thought the intention was like.
I
always thought it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they were gonna make 7, 8, 9 a thing. Is that not the case?
I'll leave it at that. You gotta play it. There is a clear, cohesive future for the next game in the franchise, but it looks like it will be completely different. So I'll leave it at that. I don't want to give any hints to it.
Oh. Yeah, they'll probably do DLC like they did with Biohazard.
there's going to be story content added on. Maybe.
I do not want to say anything because it will spoil the story. So let's leave it at that.
Okay.
I would just say with the amount of DLC that they had on Biohazard, they probably will. I would assume that they're planning on getting a little bit of mileage out of Village, but
You haven't played the game. I played this game.
Cesar
so
says
I'm
no.
gonna leave it at that. So
Cesar, did you develop?
Things happen.
All I want to know is, did you develop feelings for the sexy vampire lady?
No, things happen, and I was more Mother Maria got it going on. I was more into Mother Maria, but I'll leave it at that. Mother Miranda, not Mother Maria. Mother Miranda, excuse me.
Mother Maria's a Beatles song, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm getting my references done. That's my old age just fucking my brain up. Now I'm getting like my media access in my brain is all fucked up.
Worlds are colliding.
I know you don't want to spoil anything, but like, I mean, could they do like prequel stuff to like kind of explore the lore of Village? I'm not going to say anything,
Village, but the way this game ends, they would have to do prequel stuff. Let's just leave it at that.
Okay.
That's the only option they would have.
Gotcha.
Unless the ending the after credits ending I saw would be, I would be a 70-year-old man. So let's leave it at that. Okay. But outside of that, I mean, was it Lady Dimitris?
Mm-hmm.
She's not in that game that much. She is, as you play as Ethan, you for story reasons you are landing into a village. You played the demo, right, Brant?
I played the maiden demo. I never got a chance to play Castle or Village demo.
So you know for a fact, most people know for a fact he's looking for his daughter. We already established that fact before. So you're into this village, and for story, I'll leave it at that. For story reasons unknown, they are basically there's four mainline bosses and like one final boss. So as you know, those four bosses are separated in their own designated areas, and you have to retrieve a specific item from each boss.
That's cool.
To progress the story.
That's old school. So
when you go to the first one, we're all familiar with, as Lady Dimitris is in a castle. She has 3 vampire daughters. That one plays more the. This game is not as, I don't know. I wasn't really scared of Resident Evil 7. So a lot of people said there was more horrific. 7 was more of a horror-based game. This one seems to be more of the action. This seems more of the balance of the Resident Evil 4 I played from that part on there, where you seen some horror aspects, but a lot of it was action well done.
Yeah.
Not punching boulders, but it wasn't like
stupid shit.
Which that was a reference in there. Oh my god,
that's funny. That's funny.
One of the bosses on there is like, I hate Chris, that bastard that punches boulders. He straight called him out, and it's like he wasn't even there to enjoy it. It was pretty funny.
Wow.
But that was on there. I caught that. I was like, what the fuck? That was pretty funny. So this first part of the game is similar to what Resident Evil 2 and 3 was, where you had Mr. X kind of chasing after you. That bit happens with Lady Dimitris, where you're running around, and I'm like, she keeps popping out everywhere. I'm like, fuck, and I have to take long ways around and go up in there. Her bit's not that long. That part of the game was probably maybe 3 hours. After you complete that, you go back into the village, and then you go into another boss type area. You meet the merchant there, Duke, who makes references to the merchant from Resident Evil 4. He's like, I got an old friend. He goes, what are you buying?
Awesome.
So, like, there's a lot of 4 references in here.
Yeah.
He's like, that's something my old friend used to say all the time. He'll just chuckle about it when he says it.
That's
too.
funny.
He'll pop every. So the next area is Benevenito. That is the next area you go to. That one is more. Each area is different. So, like, you have to go. It's separated. You have to get different keys and whatnot to get to that area. For that Benvenuto, I won't say what that person does because we're all aware of Lady Dimitris. So, but Lady Benevito, that one's more like the PT style. So you're going to a small area with lights, and you have something that you cannot attack. They take all your weapons away from you, and you're forced to go through that house like PT, or you're running from, like, that's the fear factor was that game. That was probably one of the, to me, that was the most memorable part of that game.
Sounds like great variety.
Yeah. After you complete that one, the next one up is his name escapes me. but he's straight. He's a straight copy of Del Lago from Resident Evil 4. The giant fish in the lake.
Yeah.
So he's basically, there's bits of that's almost that boss battle from that. That's more drawn out. They even make a reference like his scientific hangout's called Moreau, like the Island of Dr. Moreau. So there's a lot of nice callbacks in here, man. That's to different types of meat. It's a good ass fucking game, man. It's really good.
Masterpiece. I've seen it called a masterpiece.
It's really fucking good.
Damn.
It's really good.
Brent, you didn't start it yet?
The 7 and 8 bookend is good as fuck, man. This whole little duology they got is good. After that, you go into the next one, which is called Heisenberg. His is like a factory, and I won't go into detail story-wise, but a lot of the enemies you fight in here are
keep it vague for Brant, because Brant's about to do it, I know.
Are straight creations of Doom and Castle Wolfenstein from like Bethesda games. That's what it reminds me of. You have these mechanical monsters in there who are nearly invisible. They're fucking bullet sponges. I'm sitting here like, oh my god, as I waste every bullet I have into them, and I have to carefully craft everything to make sure I have enough for the said boss battle. The boss battle in there is really cool. I'm gonna leave it at that. It's not a typical one where you're gunning and shooting. It is vehicle based. It is really, really awesome, and it was a lot of fun. After that, Mother Miranda is the final boss. Some stuff in the story happens. You get most of the story bits happen at the very end after that fourth boss battle. They kind of just pour the story on you. They give you enough crumbs in there to keep you going, because the whole aspect is that you're trying to rescue your daughter, and then you learn some stuff as you go through. But then they just dump everything on you towards the end, and it makes sense. And it ties back to Resident Evil. It ties back to the first 5 minutes of Resident Evil 7, and just blows your mind. And like whatever you imagine it's not. It wasn't.
Dang.
Let's leave it at that.
So it is kind of like 7 in that regard, where you get little bits of the story, and then right before the end, you get all these different things that kind of tied everything together, and you're like, wow, you finally see this bigger picture.
Yeah, the story is very, very well done. I'm just going to leave it at that. And then at a certain point, you play as a different character, which is completely different than Ethan's style. And which gives you a bit of variety. That's before you go to the final boss battle, which you go back to everything that originally was. So nothing spoiled there. It's like something like an intermission, basically, like an interlude. But you play somebody else to get another part of the story is what I meant. So outside of that, the game is really fucking good. The only thing, there is no chest like Resident Evil 7 to hold all your stuff. So you have to use lay. Which is their version of Gil or whatever they have as money base for whatever that region is. You have to buy all your briefcase expansions. There's nothing that you can find like in Resident Evil 7 where it's just a backpack to increase your inventory.
RE4, baby.
I was kind of worried that there was no chest, but they have all the valuable items, things that require key items, are not counted as part of your suitcase things. There's apparently kept somewhere else.
Thank God.
So you don't have to sit there and fiddle with that.
That's good game design.
So outside of that, you also will find valuables. So if you kill certain monsters, you'll get certain like the only time I ever was actually happy to see a crystal skull was in this game. Crystal skull was something you can sell back for a lot of money.
Did you find the kingdom of the crystal skull?
I had enough of them that I could have made a kingdom, and it was way better. There are like locations where they hide different treasures. Some of those treasures, beware, don't sell them. They'll tell you on there if it's valuable, you can combine them into one treasure, and create them, and then make them even more valuable. So make sure you look at stuff before you sell them to the Duke.
Does he warn you like, hey, this is a key thing?
Nope.
That's
absolutely
sucks.
not.
I hate stuff like that in games.
So, but it tells you, it labels it. When I saw it, and it was like, oh, combinable. I was like, oh, and it tells you like little dots, like, oh, this is a 3-parter, this is a 2-parter. Okay, makes sense. It doesn't tell you where to get it again, but as you get items, you'll see stuff like wells and stuff like that. You can go back and get back in there in the game. You can kill animals, chickens, fish, boars. They give you meat. You give the meat to Duke. He will cook up something for you, and depending on what recipe he makes, it'll either increase your stamina, your health, or your defense. So it kind of implores you to look for that stuff. The animals you find are marked on the map. Once you kill them all, that puts a red X on the animal, meaning you can't go back to them. So that way you're not sitting there and going back to the same area. It's like, this is where I saw them before. So it kind of is really, really good game design. It really, really is. It's really well done. It pulls you in there. I think there's enough to explore. It keeps enough variety. I do enjoy the bosses. A lot of the bosses on this one are more memorable to me. It doesn't have the same scare atmosphere as 7 did, but I wasn't particularly more scared. I was probably more disturbed in 7 than anything else. But I enjoy that whole. It gives a lot of Castlevania-esque feel of it. So I do enjoy that as much because it's lichens, vampires, zombies. You got these
it's more supernatural.
More of these zombies that can fly. Like there's a lot of, and that's the one thing I did enjoy. There's a greater variety of enemies in this game than there was in 7. 7 was just mostly molded creatures, and maybe 1 or 2 different variants of it. This one you might have had lichens, but there's lichens that are all armored up. There's these machines that have no arms that are just chainsaws for arms, kind of like Evil Dead.
Whoa.
There's another ones where like these have this giant plane propeller and right here that's almost similar to like Pyramid Head from Silent Hill.
Sounds like Wolfenstein-esque.
Yeah, that level the factory was. It's very like an ode to that. There's a lot of odes in there you can catch on there. They're like, all right, this was definitely influenced by something. It's a good ass game.
They're on a roll, man.
Yeah, it was a good ass fucking game. Whoever did this, the story is very well done. They even predate this game story wise than the first Resident Evil. It beats that one. Like they make a reference to Spencer from the original Albert Spencer, the original one from Resident Evil 1. He meets the person who did all this in Resident Evil 8 before then predates that person. That person was the one that introduced the idea to him.
Ah.
And he sent her a letter and like, hey, I found the prognator, the original, in Africa. Just letting you know, I sent that letter and it made a reference to Resident Evil 5. There's a lot of Resident Evil references in here.
That's cool.
But yeah, it's very well done. This predates the original Resident Evil. So basically, if you go based off the storyline, I'll leave it at that. That's pretty much all I played. Outside of some more Judgment, I'm 30 hours into Judgment.
This is Judgment Remaster.
Yep, Chapter 7 of 12. This game, I can tell you now, it's a little hard to explain in the beginning because it does. You ever watch those film noirs, like those old detective cases, where they kind of like spoon feed you stuff? And I mentioned this before. They kind of like just give you nuggets, the storyline, and that can turn people off because it is very, very slow moving. They do the side cases in here. You can do like a PI cases for a bartender, side cases for like a lawyer.
Are they interesting?
A lawyer's office. Those are the interesting aspects because they're bite-sized. They're more of the Yakuza humor. We're like, oh, you got this guy who's rubbing, like stealing girls' underwear, and they call him Ass Catch'em. So like that's his nickname. And so like it's like that kind of bullshit in there. And he's like, oh, I got to, and then like Yagami's like, I got to deal with this bullshit. And some guys like sniffing panties to get more powers, and he's like, this is the dumbest thing I ever had, and you just beat the shit out of him. So and it's like
that's funny.
A lot of that's in there
to
kind of help with because the main story is very serious. So it's like everything in that main story just ties back to like when you start that game, Yagami, he's a lawyer. He defends a person who, and I mentioned this before, who was framed for murder. And then when the story begins, they find out that that same person who was framed, that he got acquitted, just killed his girlfriend. And so he deals with this fact that he might have let a guilty person free, and he could have prevented that murder. And he flash forwards 3 years, and then he's a detective. He doesn't want to be a lawyer anymore. So as you go through the story, it turns out like you're going from this mole who's killing people and stabbing their eyes out, who's getting mixed up with the Yakuza. Then you find out the Yakuza is getting mixed up with this land development company, who's getting mixed up with this advanced drug development company, who they were trying to get this land from to expand on. And it's like a whole domino effect where like as he's trying to figure out who the mole is, it's going into this whole deeper thing. It's going to this whole thing where, all right, the person who's running this all behind the scenes pertains to the person that he originally defended, Shunpei. So he might not be guilty of murdering his girlfriend. That's what it seems like. So it's like it's a whole bigger thing that's turning back into itself, to his past. So I'm only halfway through it. I'll probably finish it up this week. I'm trying to get it done before Mass Effect comes out because that's going to be like 180-hour sync right there. So I might be able to finally get past Mass Effect 1. So maybe. I'll definitely be 2 and 3.
I didn't know it was that big of an investment.
I think it took me 60 hours for 2 and about like 50 for 3.
Oh, dear God.
I don't know. I never got that far on 1 because one just moved too clunky for me. I enjoyed the action RPG aspects of 2 and 3 more because it was more fast paced, and for whatever reason I wasn't feeling the slower turn-based one. But I'll give it a whirl again and see what happens.
Right.
So we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's it for me, Brent. I'll leave it on your shoulders. Carry us home.
Bring us home, Brent. We'll return all back to the start of this podcast when you're done.
Yes. Well, first of all, though, I do have to say I'm super excited about this Friday. If you can't tell, we're in my Alucard shirt. Got season 1 and 2 right here.
Oh, yeah.
Season.
I haven't seen anything past the first season. I love that first season.
Oh, the
third one.
I thought the second season was pretty good.
Yeah.
The third one, it gets a little weird in some parts. But it's not bad. But it gets a little odd at, like I said, a few different parts. But this will be the 4th and final season is coming up Friday, as well as Limited Run is doing the physical edition of the Castlevania collection.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So I will be purchasing one of those. They have like a
super limited edition. I saw that one. It was crazy.
It's 170 because they have like the Bloodlines edition that comes with like this case that's like Genesis, like old Genesis style. And then they have the one that's kind of more NES themed, and it's got like the black and red sleeve like the NES games would have, and
Pony
all that.
Pony it up, Brant. Pony it up.
I'm only going to be getting one. I'm not. I looked at that like super ultimate edition. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. And then I saw that price tag of like I think it's almost $180. I was like,
They were like, if only Brand bought 2 copies, we could have given this Castlevania license to somebody to make it. Now we just have to sit on it for the next 20 years. All because of Brand.
The GoFundMe is just for Brant to buy two SKUs of a game.
They're waiting. It's like we'll never make another Castlevania until Brant buys 2 copies.
Did Brant buy both of these? Back to Pachinko.
No, back to health machines. Back to heart rate monitors.
But no, I haven't had a whole lot of time to play. But I did show y'all. I picked up Returnal last week, and I did start playing it. I've only gotten 3 or 4 runs into it, and it has been the perfect game for that. Because I mean, you can sit down and play it for a long time, or wind up getting murdered like I just did in this last run. So you play as Celine. Not much to this. I mean, as far as story wise, I'm sure as I keep going through, you'll get more of it. You start off in space in a ship. She flies down to this planet and then gets caught in this like storm or like disturbance in the atmosphere and then crashes. And so basically,
sounds like Metroid.
Every time, it's funny you say that, but every time she resets, she dies, you go back to the crash, and you start from there. You lose
enemies, repopulate, and everything.
Yes, you lose all of your like currency and small pickups. There are some permanent pickups. And that is the thing, is as you keep progressing through the game, you can actually get to different areas. So you crash first, and you walk through, and you're, studying the environment. You're picking up different items. You scan them first, and then you pick them up. You can read about them and things like that. Some pickups have been corrupted. I think they say that they have some malignancy to them. And
you have to unlock them somehow.
Yeah, they can corrupt you, or they basically have a lower rate of actually being effective as a pickup. And you can actually, if you have the right kind of I don't know if I'd call it currency, but one of the other pickups, you can purify it.
Like the waters of Lake Minnetonka?
Yes.
You don't remember that from Prince and Dave Chappelle? Purify yourself.
Yeah. But
Purify yourself.
you come across a corpse. It looks like the same kind of suit that you're in, and she goes to check the um suit identification, and it says Celine on it.
Oh hell!
So it's her. And so you pick up these logs, and from that you basically gather that it is a loop. Being on this planet, something's up. There's some kind of transmission, and you're trying to get to it, but something keeps happening, and you're in this constant loop. So
that's what's driving you forward. She's trying to get to a message signal of some kind.
Yeah, there's some kind of signal or beacon kind of out.
Is it always her? Is it always the same lady?
As far as what?
Like the character appearance.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, you never, when you find the suit, you never see a face or anything in there. It's kind of like blacked out.
Gotcha.
But it's always her. But that's the thing, is every time you die, it resets. The world kind of resets. I mean, sometimes certain aspects stay the same, but there's different areas you can't get to because of this. She calls it a xenotype society. It is some kind of alien race. Their technology, they've got basically like security systems and different like laser grids and things, and barriers that keep you from passing. And I assume that as you keep going, you'll find things to subvert these or shut them down, or because I got to the point where I kept finding these, what looked like these glowing orbs made out of like these, like a particle effect, and I could walk up to them and through them and stuff, and they'd kind of like swirl, but nothing would happen. And eventually I found this thing was like a short range teleport, and it added it to my system, and it was a permanent upgrade. And now I can go to these and it'll transport me to another place close.
Whether you die or not?
Yes.
So you don't get more missile containers or energy containers or furniture ball.
M-tank.
But that, like Metroid, it's very dark, it's very isolating, it's desolate, and the only thing out there is these weird alien creatures that are always, trying to kill you. It does this interesting thing, like I think it's called like the adrenaline system. And so for every 3 enemies that are around you and you effectively kill, your adrenaline goes up, and it comes with different perks. I haven't paid too much attention as to what those are, so I can't tell you. But they help enhance your combat and things like that.
Like a boost of sorts, or like a technical ability or something?
Yes. And eventually, the way that this game, the haptic feedback is pretty good. I feel like, because it's raining a lot where in the planet, I feel like Astrobot did a little bit better as far as the raindrops, because I can tell that it's raining, and it does constant little vibrations here and there. I was like, but when I thought back to Astrobot, I'm like, I remember holding the controller and feeling the rain in Astrobot and being like, wow, this is mind-blowing. And then in this game, I mean, I'm like, it just kind of feels like a small vibration. It's not like I could feel the raindrops.
Yeah.
But what they do with the haptic triggers is pretty interesting. So it's just like any third-person shooter kind of deal. You press L2 to zoom, and like R1 to fire, or R2 to fire. So you press halfway down, and that brings your gun up, and you fire. You eventually get a secondary for your weapon. And the secondary is you hold the trigger down all the way, and that activates your secondary to fire.
Okay. Does that work well, the half and full?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it works great. It's on a cooldown. Some secondaries take longer to cool than others because as you're in this world, you can pick up all sorts of different guns and things like that, and they have different secondary weapons. But then always when you die, you get sent back straight with your pistol. And then there's also you have just it's not a double jump, it's just a regular jump, but she can jump pretty high, and then you also have a dash.
Okay.
And the dash also has a cooldown, but it's a very, very short cooldown. But you're not going to be able to, at least at the point I'm at, you're not going to be able to dash in succession. But your first run, it just kind of gets you used to this world. You encounter some enemies, it slowly walks you through it, and then eventually you walk into this giant room, and there's this big old massive enemy with like all these tentacles like coming out its back, and it just does this lunging attack constantly. And I dodged it a few times, but I mean, the first time I saw it, I just started opening fire at it, and it just lunged and took most of my health.
Oh dear God.
And so I got to the point where I could see it because it like kind of glows right before it jumps at you. So I kind of got that, and I kept dodging, and then it changed and did this weird swiping thing and got me. And that's I would assume that's the first reset for just about everybody.
Is it supposed to kill you?
I would assume. I think you're gonna die a good bit in this game. I think that's the name of the game, since it is a roguelike.
Right. Like that JRPG where the boss, you have to lose to the boss every time.
Yeah.
But it's fun. I mean, you encounter. It's pretty interesting going into a room, and then all of a sudden you see a new crazy enemy, or just crazy looking enemy, because I mean everything's alien to you. And being able to, just quickly adapt and be like, okay, what do I need to do here? How do I dodge this? How do I, what's the fastest way to kill this enemy? Mm-hmm. And then right before we got on, I was playing, I was walking through, and then all of a sudden, I walked into an area where there was like 3 different exits, and then all of a sudden, I just start hearing like this horrible like growl and rumbling, and I'm up on this ledge, and I kind of look over, and I see that big tentacly monster again, and it's down there. And then I look on the map, and I see a bunch more of like generic enemies, because your map will show you just little red arrows and stuff on the map of other enemies. So there's a bunch of other enemies too running around, and I go and look, and the doors have now turned like red, and I can't go out them. So since it was right there at the podcast and I was surrounded, I was like, okay, screw this, I'm gonna die anyway, probably.
How long does it take you to get back to that point?
Well, that's the thing is once you die, the world can change, and it can be completely different from the last time you were there. But that gives you, that might give you a different way to go.
An advantage.
That might, as you explore this time, you might find something else that you needed or that you didn't have before that'll let you progress even farther. There's also, you find like these places that you can rest, and I'm not sure exactly if, because like I said, I'm only a few runs in.
What does the resting give you?
I know some of them give you, will refresh your health, but every time you lay down and rest, you're given this flash, and it's different flashes. So I've had sometimes it's just like somebody in an astronaut suit just standing there in this dark void. I've had flashes of the that big farmhouse from the trailer and stuff like that. So I don't know if I'm going to slowly get glimpses of Celine's past or different story bits or what's going on. But this game is intriguing me enough to where, I thought about throwing Resident Evil in when I came in here before the podcast, and I kept thinking about Returnal. I've been thinking about Returnal a lot.
Damn, that's a sign of a good one.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those where you sit down and you play it for a little bit, and it gets its hooks into you. At least it did for me.
I want to try it. It's one
And
of those I keep looking at.
it's so far I'm not disappointed. It's so fun. Um, but yeah, I mean, so far that's about all I can speak to it. If you enjoy roguelikes, it's probably for you. I wasn't like the biggest fan of roguelikes. I didn't hate them, but this one, I don't know.
Different
Yeah,
roguelike.
this
I mean,
one, I don't know. It's scratching an itch. It really is.
What's it comparable to? Is there anything like it? Difficulty wise or exploration or
I don't know. Like I said, it kind of gives you that Metroid vibe because you are alone, stranded. You crashed on a space, out in space on a random planet. You're surrounded by alien life forms that want to kill you, and you're constantly searching for the next permanent upgrade.
yeah.
It kind of did give me that Metroid vibe. It's that very dark um lore or dark
Like
kind
Alien.
of aesthetic. Yeah.
Atmosphere, yeah.
And there's all this other stuff. I mean, there's alien statues. You're finding alien glyphs, and you're like trying to decipher their language, and you're finding all these different pieces. There's a lot to this. And it's enough to keep you coming back because you get little bits and pieces here and there every time you play it.
Cool.
And it's just that.
Is Celine?
damn it, Richard.
Go ahead.
You're the X-Files guy. You should be all over this.
No. Is Celine a silent protagonist, or is she making comments along the way? And
No, she's talking. She's what is it like? She crashes and she's talking. I don't know if it's whatever place she works for or whatever, but she's doing logs for this thing called Astra, and like I said, you find bodies or logs, and it's her talking, about I don't know what this is, but I've seen this over here, and yada yada
she
yada.
finds logs of herself.
Yes.
Okay.
This game, it's you just got to try it, man. You really do.
I wish there was a demo of some kind, because we all know I'm not a good gamer, so if it starts kicking my ass, I'll be like, yeah, I think I'm out on this. Like, I almost got that Demon Souls when it was on sale, and I was like, I'm not going to like this. It's going to kick my ass. I'm going to be done.
Maybe
you're more
that's
enthralled with the cell than the game itself.
Pretty
You're
much.
like, "Oh, game." Yeah.
Pretty much.
you still only come in on like Mondays and Tuesdays, right? Okay. I was about to say they have us back pretty much full, or no, all full time. So I was like, if you're there, I'll maybe that'll give me the boost I need to do Village. I was like, I'll let you borrow that for a little bit. See?
Nope, it's eating you alive right now. So you're still thinking about it. You would loan it to me, and then you would go home and be thinking about it. Yeah, when you're done with it, I'll definitely take a spin on it.
Don't worry. You'll be thinking about Village. I'm thinking about just taking Judgment out and putting Village back in there. So I have it uninstalled. I'm waiting to just go for 30 minutes and install it again.
Damn.
I'm still thinking about Village, man. That's all I can think about. I'm at work thinking about Village.
But yeah, that's Returnal. That's my games
contender
played
so far, it seems.
Oh yeah, definitely. These are high up there.
As I'm editing my dating profile, I put in Resident Evil Village in there. I mean, I can't stop thinking about Resident Evil Village.
And there's that.
Yeah, if you like Resident Evil Village 2, then hit me up.
Then there's that. If you must like Resident Evil Village.
Well, I just log out. Not gonna get any hits for a while. That's good.
I think I'm done with that one. Time to download a new service.
No, he'll get hit up by some lady cosplaying Lady Demetrius.
I've seen some good ones. I've seen some good ones.
Yes, we have.
I've seen some naughty ones.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Whatever floats your boat.
Yep. All right, you guys got anything else to add?
Watch
more anime.
Absolutely not. Sure.
I've been watching a lot of it. So.
Oh, I got a TV note. The missus and I are watching Shadow and Bone on Netflix. It is extremely good.
Sounds pornographic. Sounds based off a book. Sounds pornographic.
It is based off a book, and it is fantasy, so basically pornography.
You are boning shadows.
Yes.
Shadows have bones.
There are shadows. We have not seen boning yet, though. It says TV-14.
It's a sequel to the TV show Bones.
There was a but. No, it's not a sequel to the TV show Bones.
Is this the Rule 34 of Shadow Man?
Oh, God, no. What happened? What just happened? Oh. No, it's really good. It's like a mix of, well, it's kind of taking a Harry Potter spin, but so there's an elemental group, like there's different races or countries. Well, it's one country, but there's different groups that have kind of fractured off. Years ago, this magician made a thing called the Fold, and it's like this shadow realm that these monsters are in, and it's divided up the country. So it's made them kind of turn against themselves. Like there's the east side of the Fold, the west side of the Fold, then there's the magicians, and they blame the magicians for creating the Fold and all this kind of stuff. But the young lady, it's the heroine of the story. She starts off as a cartographer, and turns out she is more powerful than she had imagined before. So it's one of those things. Cesar, we just watched the 4th episode. It was a heist episode. The whole thing is this planned out heist, and the characters are they're so good. There's a ninja type female character who's trying to win her freedom back, and she's stealthy, like she drops down from things and disappears in the shadows. There's a gunslinger type guy that's just kind of Han Solo, happy-go-lucky, and things always seem to go right, and it's just random shit. It's really well written and good music and everything. We're enjoying the hell out of it. Shadow and Bone. It is good. I think it's... What you got?
No, I was just saying, I remember when it came out, a lot of people were yammering about it, so...
We watched the first 2, and then I bought the book series. It's a trilogy of books. It was like $14 on Amazon or something like that, but... There's my TV bit. I haven't had a TV bit in a while. All right, if that's it, we're coming in at 122, way less than our 148. So
nope. Brant, talk about something for 20
Cesar,
minutes.
No anime for 20 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us this week, and we'll catch you next week. Bye.
See ya.
Cesar, you gotta leave. You gotta bow out.
I was waiting to build up steam, so I was gonna say adios.
That was a pretty good finish.